Well, a very good morning to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Lawrence Wong. Ministers and distinguished guests, thank you so much for being here today for the launch of the Forward Singapore Festival. My name is JK. I'll be your MC for today, and I'm actually not alone because somewhere just behind
I
me...
am River, also your MC for today.
Everyone say hello to River. Big hand, please. Thank you very much. Hello. This is River.
Hi JK, thank you so much. I am super excited to be here with all of you, and you can also see me later at the Forward Singapore Festival.
Now I have to ask a big question because this name River is very unique. So how did you get your name River?
Well, my name was actually inspired by a very popular song that's well loved by many Singaporeans. Can you guess which song it is, JK? Or anyone?
A song that Singaporeans love that has the word river. Does anyone know? Everyone knows the answer, you know. But can you hum it for us just in case?
Yeah, just in case, okay? Truly.
So, Home by Kit Chan. Very nice. All of our guests here got the answer correct.
That's right. My name's inspired by one of our all-time favorite songs, Home. A flowing river signifies strength, progress, and renewal.
And that's actually very amazing because it's aligned to what the Forward Singapore exercise and festival is all about.
That's right, JK. Forward Singapore is all about bringing Singaporeans together to chart a new way forward as a nation, our refreshed social compact for our shared future. Today's event is to show appreciation for all who have contributed to this exercise and to launch the Forward Singapore Festival.
Now, all this is really exciting, but I have a big question. What's a social compact?
Someone forgot to read their notes in the morning. Did you, JK?
It's very long notes inside. Can you please help me?
Well, a social compact is a shared understanding between the government, individuals, and the larger community, and about our roles and responsibilities towards each other. I see that you're still scratching your head, JK.
Just a little bit. Can you be a bit more specific?
Fret not. This will explain all that you need to know about the Forward Singapore exercise so far.
Prime moment for change. New opportunities and challenges, both local and global, lie before us. And Singaporeans collectively have bigger dreams for tomorrow. Our social compact, the shared understanding of our roles and responsibilities towards each other, must therefore also evolve to reflect our new shared values and aspirations as a people, to position ourselves better for the future. Since the launch of the Forward Singapore exercise in June 2022, we have held more than 275 engagement sessions, conducted numerous surveys and roadshows all over the country. More than 200,000 Singaporeans from all walks of life shared their thoughts and concerns. We discussed complex issues ranging from careers to aging, from sustainability to inclusivity. We exchanged diverse views and ideas and reflected on our core principles to align on what our refreshed social compact means to us. Now, we have captured these in our roadmap towards a new chapter of Singapore to guide how the government and everyone in society can and should contribute towards this collective effort. Together, we can build our shared future for a better Singapore.
Now, so much work has been done throughout the Forward Singapore exercise, a true team effort by Singaporeans from all walks of life. And now to share with us how the outcomes of the Forward Singapore exercise will impact Singapore and Singaporeans as we write the next chapter of our Singapore story together. I'd like to invite up on stage DPM Lawrence Wong. DPM, please.
My Cabinet and 4G colleagues, Secretary General of NTUC, Forward Singapore participants and stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to join all of you this morning to celebrate this important milestone as we publish the Forward Singapore report and also launch the Forward Singapore Festival. We launched the Forward Singapore exercise in June last year because we recognized that Singapore was at a critical inflection point or a prime moment for change, as you heard in the video just now. We are entering a different world. Unfortunately, it's also a more dangerous world because we can see the shift from an era of benign globalization that we saw in the last 30 years to now a period of great power competition and rising global disorder. We are facing tougher domestic challenges, from inequality to a rapidly aging population. And all this can easily pull us apart as a society, create more divisions and polarizations in Singapore, and cause our social compact to fray. And that's why we felt last year that there was a need for all of us in Singapore to take stock, pause, reflect, consider how we can chart our new way forward together. What changes should we make? What big moves do we take together as a country in order to navigate this new environment? And so over the last 16 months, more than 200,000 Singaporeans came forward to share their aspirations, their perspectives, and views. Each of you here played an active role. Many gave your ideas and suggestions in our engagement sessions. Some went further than that. You participated in smaller group workshops or the citizens panel. You submitted detailed reports with very useful recommendations, and we received reports from many groups, students, community groups, including NTUC, which mounted a very massive exercise engaging workers called the Every Worker Matters Conversations. So the Forward Singapore report, which we have just released, is a distillation of all your views and perspectives. This is not a top-down government agenda. This is very much a shared consensus, a co-created roadmap for our next bound of nation building. In short, Forward Singapore would not have been possible without all of your contributions and efforts. So this morning, on behalf of my team, I would like to say a very big thank you to all of you. Thank you very much. I suppose all of you here is just a sampling of, we have perhaps 300-400 here, but we have 200,000 people to thank. Many people took part in this exercise. The big question in our engagements was, what is the Singapore we want for the future? Or to put another way, what is our Singapore dream? There was a time when the focus was on the 5 C's. I'm sure you know what the 5 C's are. Maybe the younger ones may not have heard of it, but certainly many of you would. Condo, car, cash, credit card, country club membership. Everyone was talking about 5 C's. Today, we no longer talk so much about the 5 C's. To be clear, we still want a good life. And there are genuine concerns about issues like housing and the cost of living, which the government is focusing on, and we are addressing them. But from our engagements, it is also clear that the Singapore dream is more than just material success. It is also about fulfillment, meaning, and purpose in what we do. What then are the new elements in our Singapore dream? First, based on our conversations and engagements, we believe it will be vibrant and inclusive. Vibrant because we want to ensure that there are continued opportunities for all Singaporeans to get good jobs, to enjoy better living standards over time. Inclusive because the opportunities should not just be for a few. They are certainly not limited to those with university degrees or those who fit into a certain conventional mold. We want equal opportunities for all Singaporeans, regardless of your background or your educational pathway or career choices. In other words, we must truly embrace learning beyond grades. We must respect and reward every job. We must value every worker for who they are and what they do, especially those who do the essential work that we all rely on. Second, it will be fair and thriving, because we recognize the stresses and strains that Singaporeans face on a day-to-day basis. And we want to be a society where Singaporeans can be better assured of their basic needs through every life stage, where everyone can flourish and thrive. And changes will be needed to achieve this, so that we can have an environment that is truly conducive for all families, those with children and seniors, as well as persons with disabilities to look after, and also to take better care and support for our caregivers themselves, to take care of our growing number of seniors, their health, their living environment, and also their retirement needs, and to enable our workers who face setbacks to bounce back stronger, to empower the lower income groups to take greater ownership of their circumstances, even as we do more to uplift them. And these are changes that we have in mind. We have in mind a series of policy moves to address all of these issues. They will require a lot more resources and government spending, and we are prepared to do so. But we will have to design the policies and implement them carefully, with more help given to those with less. Third, it will be resilient and united, because it will not be possible for the government alone to do everything through policy changes. Nor is it possible for any individual to succeed on his or her own efforts alone. We should look not just to our own success, but also to the success of others. Those who have done well should do more to uplift those with less, be it through financial donations or through offering their time and expertise to volunteer, mentor, and support those in need. The bottom line is that we are much stronger when we work together, and that we truly achieve success only when we succeed together as a society and as a country. And so we must harness our collective efforts and energies to build a stronger sense of identity, solidarity, and unity, so that we are more resilient amidst adversity, so that we can build a better Singapore together, not just for today, but also for tomorrow. So these are the key ingredients in what we want the future Singapore to be: a more vibrant, a more equal, and a more united country. And that's why I firmly believe the refreshed Singapore dream is less about I, me, and mine. It's more about we, us, and ours. It's recognizing that we are not left to fend for ourselves, but that we are all in this together. That what we have here in this tiny little island of Singapore, while not perfect, is really nothing short of a miracle. After all, if Singapore were to falter, no one will come to our rescue. In the end, it's up to us, all of us here in Singapore, be it the government, employers, community groups, families, and individuals, all of us as Singaporeans, to work together and to keep this miracle going for as long as we can. While we have completed the Forward Singapore exercise, our journey into our next bound of nation building really has just started. The road ahead will not be easy, but we can take heart from what we have been through so far together. As a nation, we have experienced many challenges over the decades, many crises, including the last 3 years of tackling COVID-19 together. And each time we face a crisis, each time we have hunkered down, worked together, and emerged stronger. We have consistently turned our challenges into opportunities, our vulnerabilities into strength. So we have done it before, and we can do it again. Forward Singapore provides a roadmap to chart our way forward in this new unknown future. My team and I will continue to engage widely with all Singaporeans in navigating this future and this way forward. You've seen us do this throughout this last 16 months in the Forward Singapore exercise. We will continue this same approach as a leadership team because we want to create more avenues for citizen participation, more opportunities for co-creation, and ultimately, we want to work with one and all to find solutions that are in the best interest of Singapore and Singaporeans. And that's why today we are also launching the Forward Singapore Festival. We are not just marking a milestone to complete the exercise and put out a report, but we are also launching what we call a Forward Singapore Festival. It's a series of road shows starting today, but it will move around to different heartland areas in the weeks to come. We hope this will give everyone in Singapore the chance to see the future roadmap that we have all conceived together. And importantly, we want to encourage many more Singaporeans to come on board, to participate and join us in translating our ideas and our ideals into concrete action and results. So to conclude, we have a full agenda ahead of us. We have achieved much in Singapore, but we still have lots to do together and many more exciting chapters of the Singapore story to write. We look forward to walking this journey together with every Singaporean and working with all of you to build our shared future together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DPM. We'd like to invite you to remain on stage as we invite 5 Singaporeans who had taken part in the Forward Singapore engagements to join you on stage as well. Now, as our guests are making their way onto the stage, allow me to introduce the next segment of this morning's program. As we heard from DPM, none of this would have been possible without the many Singaporeans, including all of you here, who are willing to contribute your time and ideas to help chart Singapore's next chapter. Now, our guests today will share more about their experiences being part of the Forward Singapore conversations and their hopes and aspirations for our shared future. Now, ladies and gents, as they are taking their seats, I'd like to invite you to do me a big favor and put your hands together for Eva Aminuddin, Alistair Ong, Shaiful, Grace Ng, and V. Nash.
Thank you so much, JK. Hi everyone, I'm Eva Aminuddin. I'm so excited to be here, not just because this is one of my favorite landmarks in Singapore, but to really be part of this milestone, to see the culmination of all the conversations that myself as a volunteer facilitator with the Forward SG Conversations, and also all the volunteers who are involved and all of you who are involved in the conversations over the last 16 months. With us today is a bunch of wonderful people who have also had the opportunity to participate in the Forward SG Conversations. And I'm really looking forward to hearing their experiences and thoughts about the exercise. So let me introduce them. We have next to DPM Alistair Ong. Alistair's a community leader for persons with disabilities. He champions for diversity and inclusion. And in his professional life, in a HR company, Alistair leads a team that provides consultancy to clients so that they can be more inclusive in their hiring policy and practices. He attended several FSG conversations, and I think he has some interesting stories to share with us. Next to Alistair is Shaiful Ghazali, a trainer who participated in the Every Workers Matters conversation that was led by NTUC. We have Ms. Grace Ng, a retiree and a very active senior volunteer at RSVP SG, which is an organization of senior volunteers. She attended 4 Forward SG conversations on aging in the community, and she's so passionate about participating, and I'm so excited to have her here today. And then next to me is V. Nash. Nash has participated with Forward SG at Sembawang GRC, and as part of the Admiralty Youth Network, he's been advocating for ground-up green efforts. I know he likes to gather his friends to conduct beach cleanup cleanups and participate in CC-led mangrove cleanups. I'm also trying to see if I can join him one of these weekends. So before we invite the panel to share some of their experiences, maybe DPM, I'd like to invite you maybe to say a few words to start us off.
Well, thanks very much, Eva. Well, I won't say very much, but I just wanted to say, you know, at the beginning of my remarks, I said this is very much a co-created process. Well, don't just take it from me, because you say, well, who are you to say, you claim to be co-created. Well, I'm going to present panelists here who participated, some of them not just in one engagement, multiple engagements, and some who went beyond just participating in the conversations to actively doing things together with the government. So we want to hear from them, because truly in our next phase of Forward Singapore, it has to be a co-created process. It has to be a process where we all strengthen our partnerships to take Singapore forward. So look forward to engaging with all of you.
Thank you very much, DPM. And on that enthusiastic note, let's go to Alistair. Alistair, can you please tell us about your experiences, some of the highlights that maybe you've experienced during the Forward SG conversations?
Sure, very happy to share. Hi everyone, I'm Alistair here. And I'll share one moment where we were at SMU. There was a Forward SG exercise over there. And just so happened, DPM, you were there as well. And so we were all participants there. And on Padlet, we are supposed to write the topics that we want to discuss. For myself, it was a topic on how can we build an inclusive society together. And so on Padlet, we were supposed to, all of us, upvote. And mine happened to be one of the top few questions that were upvoted. So I was getting very excited, like, wow, my topic is going to be discussed and mentioned. And then there was a plot twist. Those who were being upvoted, they were supposed to lead the facilitation instead. I was thinking, wow, that's another level of citizen participation. You are not just participants, but being the facilitators as well, sharing about the discussions and how we want to move it forward. That was really remarkable, and it really left a great impression on me, because it's how citizens, we can come and be involved as well. Not just sharing, not just commenting and giving ideas and inputs, but taking charge as well. Bring everyone together and say, hey, let's discuss together.
Thanks, Alistair. Actually, that's the kind of facilitation I like to do as a facilitator, because I don't have to do so much work, right? As a facilitator, the participants actually get to do the work. So thanks so much for sharing. I know I also was involved in some where actually the participants look at you and they have this panic look, right? For the first few minutes, what? I have to facilitate? But then later they quickly warm up and the conversations flow, and then they actually forget that they were asked or arrowed to in the beginning. So thanks so much for sharing that story. Maybe we go to Grace. Grace, you attended 4 of our SG conversations. Can you tell us about your experience?
Yes, I'm very happy that I'm able to take part in 4 FSG conversation, and my opinions and ideas are heard at these sessions and can add values to the policies. And the government take the time to listen to the voices from the ground, and especially in senior inclusive society. As a senior, I'm also aging. So I'm actually also, my main concern is my health, although I try to keep myself very healthy, and mobility and loneliness is my main concern also. So I'm very glad that I also participated in the Aging in the Community Forward SG discussion, where I'm able to feedback on my concerns. During the discussion, we discussed topics like how to help seniors to live longer and healthier, and how to age happily in the community. And I like the ideas that everyone should take responsibility for their own health. And so when the Healthier SG was launched in July, happened to be at my backyard. So I actually volunteer for this event, and also being a healthy person, I want to help the fellow senior volunteer. So I went to enroll at my family clinic. Although I have a good health, I don't have a doctor, but I take this opportunity in order to share with the fellow citizens. And the doctor is very happy with what I am today. And so he gave me a booklet and encouraged me to continue to stay healthy. And of course, he asked me to go for the free injection, the pneumococcal, which I'm very, very scared of needle. And that's why I stay healthy because of the needle. So until today, I still have not gone for my injection. Okay, so that is the reason why I keep healthy. Okay, so I believe and I agree that preventive health is very important. So that is why I stay healthy and active in volunteering. So in my neighborhood, while I participated in some of the discussion, and I also found that in my community there are some improvement. So we have the pathway widened, and not only widened, it actually have a shelter. And also as a senior, we also like to ask for a lot of needs and wants. So we ask for benches along the way. And then actually recently I found that already they have actually materialized this. And one day I was sharing this with my senior friends. So they were so surprised to see the benches. So we took a slow walk one evening, and then we say, let's test the benches. And we sit there, and then we're supposed to test. And at the end, we sit there and talk for an hour. And then we realize that we need to get home already. So I find that this is very touching because our ideas and our views are being heard. That is what I'm sharing for today. And also that I find that in my community, that just next to my block, we have a new senior exercise equipment, which is, I look at it that I stay in a HDB flat, but this machine is just next to my block, as if like I'm living in a condo. So I'm very happy that the policy is shifting in the right direction for the senior. Thank you.
Do you and your friends also test out the exercise equipment?
Yes, we do, yeah. And then because of all this so-called the new places that we have, and then last time we used to say we meet at a block like E-lobby, but now we always say that we will meet at the old place, the Lao Di Fang.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much for sharing. I'm sure there are some doctors in the crowd who might want to come to you later and convince you to overcome your fear of needles. But it's so good to be hearing how you're taking care of your health.
But we had 3 rounds of COVID vaccines already.
Yes, I actually very hesitated, but I know that I have to. So every time when I reach there, I will always tell them that I'm very, very scared. And then what they do is they actually look for a senior nurse. And the senior nurse will calm me down, and then they will tell me, I even let the senior nurse know that because even mosquito bite me also, I'm not very happy. And then she said, don't worry, Gomo coming. So I did the 4th jab altogether, yeah.
Even those of us not scared of needles, not very happy when mosquitoes bite us. DVM, if I may, so Alistair said you were at the same conversation with him, and I'm sure you were at several conversations. Was there any one that stood out for you that was really memorable?
It's very hard to highlight one particular one, but I like what Grace shared, which is that in many of these conversations, obviously we hear concerns, we hear feedback, we hear ideas, and that's good because it allows us to listen to what different community groups, different individuals are worried about. It allows us to think through how we can improve government's responses to address these concerns. But across these engagement sessions, I was always struck that there will be some, like Grace, who want to go beyond giving suggestions. They want to do something. And very often you say, I want to do something, but to contribute to big policy design is not so simple because you've got to understand the intricacies of policies, government trade-offs, finances, so complicated. But in fact, the best way to start doing something is right in your neighborhood. where you stay, and there will be more opportunities we hope to create for every Singaporean to shape the character and tone of your estate, to shape places around you so that we can all look forward to better living environments. It can be with regards to elderly design, it can be to make it more inclusive for people with disabilities, it can be for sustainability reasons, but there are many, many opportunities, and I was very struck that there are indeed enthusiastic Singaporeans wanting to do this.
Thanks, DBM. And on that note, we have this enthusiastic also Singaporean here who's very interested in environmental and sustainability issues. So Nash, I mentioned earlier that you go for beach cleanups with your friends and things like that. Would you like to share with us a little bit more about that? And I'm also interested to learn about your thoughts about the shifts that we, through the Forward SG conversations that we hope to see that is actually being shared today through the Forward SG report. Yeah.
Thanks, Eva. Okay, so I think, like you mentioned, I do try to do a little bit for the environment in the sense that, so a common theme that I do see as part of the Forward SG movement, which also has been a little bit of something that I deeply care about, is really getting individuals personally invested in the causes that they believe in. Because even when I went for the sharing session at Sembawang GRC, right, as the conversations went on, I did notice that I was very heartened to see that people were very open, they were very receptive, and they were really interested to share their views and also to hear other people's opinions, hear what was going on and to learn more. But it was interesting because so my group was discussing about environmental sustainability and stewardship. And as we discussed issues like climate change and the really honestly monumental task that lies before us, you could really see the mood kind of shift because people started to get like, oh no, like it's really like the situation is so dire, it's actually so bad. What can we as individuals do? I mean, no matter what I do as a person alone, there's not going to be any impact. I'm not going to be able to do anything lasting. But then as people shared more, and I think some of us tried to encourage this idea that it's like what DPM said about co-creation, right? It has to start from the bottom. We have to all kind of play our part. And as we got people personally invested, we managed to sort of start to convince them that, hey, you know what, yes, as an individual, your individual impact could be very minimal. But if every one of us thought the same way, nothing will happen, right? But if we were to think like, hey, you know what, at least I do my part, at least I step forward and make a stand, collectively, I think the long-term impacts will be pretty significant. So yeah, like I said, just part of the community, my CC, so I'm a grassroots leader with Admiralty, and we do organize a lot of beach cleanups, and we do this program every few months called Kayak and Clean, where we actually kayak out to the mangrove swamps in the Sembawang area, and because a lot of ocean-bound debris and rubbish actually gets trapped in our mangrove swamps, horrible for the environment, for the biodiversity. So we actually go there to clean up where it's a bit less accessible, so we can go there. And then on a personal note as well, my fiance is also very into environmental sustainability, especially with our coastal regions. So we actually try to organize just little group beach cleanups. So we've gone and done Coney Island, East Coast Park, Sembawang Park, all these areas. We just go down with your friends, with your family, few trash bags, maybe some tongs to pick up rubbish. Just over an hour or so, like one person can easily collect 1-2 bags full of rubbish. We may think, our country is very clean, yes, but there are pockets where, as citizens, I think we really can do more. Mm-hmm. And so it's very heartening for me to actually see as being a big part of the Forward SG exercise and the movement going forward is really this idea of co-creation and community involvement, getting everyone personally invested and personally interested so that as we move forward, everyone has a stake in the future of our country. Yeah.
Thanks so much. I also found that I learned so much through facilitating. There was one workshop, one conversation I facilitated where the community had shared, they had prepared booths to share some of the activities that you could volunteer in. Actually, so many around sustainability, reducing food waste. That was as simple as you just need to collect some stuff and drive and to distribute to the needy, for example. And that got me really excited. And I know a lot of the participants who attended also were very excited and wanted to get involved. So great to hear from you about that. Shaiful, go to you. I moving away from the environmental theme, you are someone who cares a lot about issues related to the mid-career workers, right? So would you like to share with us a little bit about what you feel about the policy shifts that might affect mid-career workers, and maybe through your conversations, through the Every Worker Matters conversations that NTUC had organized? Yeah.
Thank you, Eva. Yes. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this morning. I represent the mid-career workers during the Every Worker Matters conversation. The voices of the mid-career workers were definitely being heard. During the conversations, there are key takeaway captured, which includes protected time off beyond company mandatory training, as well as the government training allowance provided on workers to build deep skill set. So I think this aligns with the Forward SG report, which in the chapter of lifelong learning beyond school. So it is heartening to know that the government, the unions, and the employers are working together to make this initiative happen. Thank you.
Thanks so much. DPM, do you have anything you might want to add to this? Any comments that you want to share with us?
Well, I think a lot of what the participants have reflected here, or everyone here on the panel have reflected, is truly embodies the spirit of partnership that we need as we think about the big challenges Singapore faces in the years ahead, but also big opportunities to, come together as a country and transform our challenges into new opportunities for us as a people. Making these big moves that we just talked about, whether it's to take better care of our seniors, be a more inclusive environment for people with disabilities, dealing with climate change, helping mid-careers, all of these big moves requires more than just policy changes. Of course, there are policy changes to be made, don't get me wrong, and we will, as a government, think through what adjustments need to be made in our policies. But as you heard from everyone, it requires also individual attitudes and mindsets to change. And then thirdly, it requires organizational change beyond the government, employers, unions, companies, community organizations, all of us doing our part, working together. And that's really the spirit of partnership that we hope we can encourage more of in order to take Singapore forward.
Thank you so much. I have just one last question, I think, for the panel, and maybe I'll go down this way and then we'll end off with DBM, which is around, I guess, your reflections or your hopes for our shared future, our responsibilities to each other as Singaporeans. Maybe Nash, would you start us off and then we'll go down the line?
Sure. Okay. So I think a big part of what I shared earlier was really this idea of the social compact, right? This is something that I think it's great to see, and it's something that I really hope to see being ingrained into each one of us in society, because yes, in theory it sounds great, right? But we actually need all of us to really believe in it and really believe that we do have a responsibility to our country, to each other, as fellow citizens, and also to the future generations who are going to take over the Singapore story moving forward. We do have this really a shared responsibility to carry and pass on, and I think this is something that I really hope to see in the future, where everyone is equally invested and happy to really come together and do their part to take each step forward. Yeah.
Thank you, Nash. Grace?
Okay, while we are moving forward, let me rewind a little bit. Actually, I missed out something which I want to share. Actually, I took part in the discussion for the, it was called Community Assisted Living. I think now it's changed to Community Care Apartment, CCA, yeah. So I still need to go for CCA if I need to. Okay, so actually why I want to share this with you all, because I actually went for a few sessions of the discussion, and we actually discuss what is our needs in the event if we need to be into this care apartment. So the needs and all being discussed. But the main concern is the cost, that because we are aging, how are we going to be able to afford to pay for so-called the basic cares? Because in this CCA, there is this manager will be there, and also I think after the manager's normal working hour, they will have another person to take charge, like around the clock. So I'm very happy that I actually went for the so-called, they call it customer experience. So we actually have a chance to go and have a feel and how we want the design to be improved. So I have seen this already materialize, and it's already launched in Bukit Batok, and now is at Queensway. And when I share this with my friends, and then she say that, oh, I miss the Bukit Batok. And then that day I met her again. She said, oh, I managed to get one for my mommy at Queensway. So I'm very happy that I'm able to share. Now, let me share a little bit how I get into what I am today. So actually, I'm a aso housewife, okay? My chairman called me auntie. He's sitting over there, Mr. Koh. So let me share with you how I end up where I am today. Okay, so actually I'm a housewife. So at 52, when my son is preparing for his O-level, so I actually don't want to be left behind. So I was telling myself, how am I going to plan my next 20 to 25 years, and how am I going to lead a meaningful life? I have been a housewife for so many years, looking after my son, make sure that everything is okay. So actually, I was chanced upon Straits Times. It's actually in a Straits Times that they have this basic computer courses, and it's conducted at RSCP Singapore. So I tell myself, maybe I need to step out. So when I first registered the courses at RSCP, and then I find that I need to be continuing so that I won't be left behind. So as I continue with the courses and I stay with RSVP, then I discovered this so-called incredible community with all the volunteers at RSVP, and talking with all the volunteers, it inspired me to become a volunteer with them. So it has been 15 years when I look back, and I'm an IT trainer, and actually helping fellow seniors stay active and socially connected. And I actually, every time past the 5 years, 10 years, I like to look back. So I think this is part of the senior life. So when I look back, I'm actually very glad that I became a volunteer. And it actually kept me mentally and physically well. And also that it gives me a very meaningful and fulfilling life. So at RSVP Singapore, I actually now have a big family of friends. And we stay socially connected, and we enjoy hobby together. So actually my social cycle is expanded. I want to continue to share and encourage the senior to do the same like me and join volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grace. Shaiful?
Right. So I aspire to contribute by creating a brighter Singapore through mentoring. I believe mid-career professionals have a wealth of experiences that can guide the younger workers. I participated in a mentoring SG event and met like-minded individuals who acknowledge the benefits of mentoring. Mentoring can prevent workplace accidents, errors, can also provide career guidance and also fulfill the younger colleagues' aspirations and potential. Also, mentoring provides mid-career workers like me to pay it forward and give back to the Singapore society. For the younger colleagues who may start as zero today, with us mentoring them, they can be a hero tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you. Alistair, how about you?
I think for me, my hopes for Singapore is that every single one of us, regardless of where we come from, regardless of backgrounds, regardless of which part of society we're from, to come forward, to step forward, to say that we want to build this shared future together. And when I was younger, during my primary school years, my father would come to me and say, study hard, do finance, earn a lot of money and stay at home. My mom would say, and they didn't discuss, my mom would say, darling, study hard, be a home tuition teacher, earn a lot of money and stay at home. That was 20 years ago, and I thought to myself, why it sounds so similar? Did they foresee COVID coming, that it's going to be stay at home and work from home? But as I was growing up, I realized that it does not have to be the case. As a person with disability, we tend to be very comfortable in receiving help from others, but realizing that we can actually not only just receive, but we can give as well. And so my hopes for Singapore is that every one of us can not only just receive, but give as well. All of us can rise up to the occasion. That we will not be indifferent, but we'll choose to make a difference. That all of us will not be distant from one another, but we'll go the distance for one another. All of us won't be apart from one another, but we will be a part of the solution in making our shared future together moving forward.
Thank you so much, Alistair. I'm sure we all agree. We're so glad he didn't stay at home today and joined us today. DPM, would you like to close us off?
Not sure how I can close off after that comment and what more I can say. But I just want to say I thank all of you for stepping forward, not just in the conversations we've had, but coming here to share your experiences with the audience today, but in fact to a wider audience, because we are, I believe, live and many other people are watching online. But the positive energies that you have today, which we saw, is just a sampling of, in fact, what all of us experienced throughout the last 16 months of engagements. And it is that sense of participation, that sense of wanting to be an active agent for change and making a better Singapore that gives all of us confidence that we can have a better future together. Sometimes when we read the news, when we think about the big challenges that are coming our way, it is quite easy to become overwhelmed. As Vinesh said just now, you think about global warming, climate change, very depressing. You think about what's happening around the world, very depressing. You think about our own domestic challenges, very daunting. And it can be quite overwhelming. But so we know the road ahead will not be easy. But again, if we think about the strength we have in Singapore, we are starting off today from a much better position than we were, say, in 1965. And so throughout our history, we have been able to overcome the odds. We have been able to keep this Singapore miracle going for a long time. And today we are in a much better position than before. We have more resources. We have a high level of trust within our society. We have a very strong compact. And so I hope this Forward Singapore exercise gives all of us Singaporeans confidence and hope for the future. I hope it enables us to keep on having faith in our fellow citizens, that each and every person can come together and contribute to a better future. The best days of Singapore lie ahead of us, and we look forward to working with one and all to write even more exciting chapters of the Singapore story together.
On that really wonderful and optimistic note, everybody join me in thanking everyone on the panel today for sharing their experiences. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, DPM.
Thank you very much, DPM and our 5 guests, for that wonderful sharing. We now invite everyone to remain on stage for a few more moments as we invite DPM and one of our guests to help us officially launch the Forward Singapore Festival. At this juncture as well, I'd like to remind everyone, if you haven't already done so, to scan the QR codes located around the very special Flowerfield Hall. We'd like to invite right now DPM and Alistair to make your way to the center of the stage. All right, everyone ready? Just behind you, DPM, sir, just behind you. I'd like to invite DPM and Alistair to place your hands on the screen as we count down to 3, 2, and 1. Hands on the screen. Thank you. Big hand, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed reading the pledges from our fellow Singaporeans. Together, we will build our shared future and make Singapore our home truly. At this juncture, I'd like to invite up on stage our POHs to join DPM and the panelists for a group photograph on stage. And as mentioned earlier, ladies and gentlemen, there are QR codes located across the Flowerfield Hall. In fact, just behind you, you can have a look at 2 giant LED screens. The QR codes are flashed over there. Do try your very best after this to scan the QR codes and pledge for the Forward Singapore Exercise and Festival while the group photograph is being taken. Just a reminder, once again, you can scan the QR codes at the back. Thank you, everyone. You may now return to your seats. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us right here.
Thank you all for being with us today and for being a part of the Forward Singapore exercise. While today's event here may have come to an end, the work of building Singapore's shared future has only just begun.
That's right, River. If you would like to know how you can contribute and play your part in building Singapore's shared future, please join us by visiting the Forward Singapore Festival located at Silverleaf, which is about 2 minutes walk away from here. Our friendly ushers will be able to guide you in the right direction.
Yes, JK, there you can learn more about the key shifts arising from the Forward Singapore exercise. Also, remember to visit me at the pledge booth to make a pledge to build our shared future together. There's also a virtualized Singapore of the future to explore. Sounds exciting, doesn't it, JK?
Absolutely exciting. In fact, I want to thank River as well as Shamini, who has been animating and voicing River throughout the event. Everyone, please put your hands together and say hi to Shamini. There we go. Wow. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that food is ready. If you're hungry like me, please make your way to the back of the halls for lunch. Have a great day ahead. One more time, a big hand, please. Thank you so much for joining us at the Forward SG Festival. Thank you so much, everybody.